Have. Here comes Steve Masterton, and what a sorry tale it's been for Steve this year, because they didn't arrive here at Mount Panorama until Friday, and they were still trying to get a gearbox into the car when they did, and the car has not run anywhere near its potential. Steve is used to being up with the front runners, Alan Moffat, and this must be a terrible frustration.
Well, it is, Gary, and it's one circuit that you just can't come to and be behind the 8 ball before you start. You have to be able to put your best foot forward. There are so many other factors that can give you trouble. There's so many little things that can go wrong, and just honestly getting through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday up here is a major act in itself. And to arrive on Friday and hope to be competitive by Saturday is an impossible task. Well,
Johnny Goss found that out over a number of years, didn't he? He's had the big heart and the talent all along, but unless you've got the backup and the machinery to go with it, then you're wasting your time and money, aren't you?
You can't win any war without the logistics behind you, right? You've got to have that transport department working hard for you.
Colin Bond tucked right in behind Masterton as they come off the top. Bond in 47. The 2.5 litre Alpha is the leader of the under 3 litre class and is in 8th position on the track outright. Let's go now to Neil Crompton in the pits.
Particular car and the driver are doing exceptionally well. Peter McLeod's entry, Graham Bailey co-driving, Graham at the wheel at the moment. This is the South Coast supported Commodore V8, and at present count it's up into 5th place.
Yes, 105 laps covered, Mike, just 2.5, nearly 3 laps behind the race leader, and of course South Coast supported by the Illawarra Mutual Building Society, as we said. Peter McLeod from Wollongong, and a renowned long-distance finisher, particularly in that Slick 50 Mazda car that he used to drive. And of course, Alan Moffat, he was also involved in your project earlier in the year.
Yes, he was a team driver with our RX-7 at Daytona in the 24-hour. Unfortunately, didn't get to drive the car in real earnest because of an engine problem, but nevertheless acquitted himself well on the high banks at Daytona. But here today in a Holden Commodore, which he's been responsible for the preparation, and obviously taking it just a little easy in the first part of the race has paid dividends, and here he is in the top 5.
McLeod and Bailey with one of the big cats on their tail. McLeod might be doing well, but of course it's the big cat that leads the race. Car number 8 with Tom Walkinshaw and Wyn Percy. Laps completed, which puts the car on the same lap when it came in for the pit stop as Jim Rich, number 8 Jaguar, as we see coming underneath the Hardy Bridge, car number 13, Bernie McClure and Ray Ellis in their Commodore entry from Victoria. And it's the only travelling art show, I think, or the only art show on wheels, certainly, that I've ever seen.
Yes, and Ruth Ellis is the young lady who's pushed a lot of people into this operation.
They might auction off the bonnet, because Pro Hart did the painting on the front.
Ruth was responsible for getting Pro Hart to do that. I didn't think he'd be doing it on his own. But to their credit, a young woman that wants to push artists to the fore through motor racing, and good luck to her.
Only 4 runners in the Class A category here at Mount Panorama this year. That's the under 2 litre class, and all of them Toyotas. And this is the situation as they stand. Car number 57, that's the Bob Holden entry, leads the category at the moment from car 60. John Smith in his Toyota Corolla, then car number 61, which you can see hasn't turned over too many miles at all. That's Ray Hutchie and John Faulkner. And the other entry in the category, David Ratcliffe and Don Smith, really is not in contention at all. Class B, the under 3 litre category, Colin Bond, as we mentioned, in front but only narrowly in the Alpha from the Starion, the Mitsubishi Starion of Kevin Bartlett, and the rest of the entrants in that class totally out of contention.
Well, the Ellis McClure car goes through, and trouble straight away.
It's Colin Bond. No, it's a BMW, Charlie O'Brien.
Looks like Charlie standing over there.
Yes, it is Charlie O'Brien. Big effort went into the car. Co-driver John English. He had to work very hard to put the money together for this car to get to Bathurst, and they were doing so well up into 8th position earlier in the race. In fact, they were running 9th when this mishap occurred.
Broken suspension, wheels on the toe out position. He's